Okay, first the house cleaning. Please consider supporting this channel through channel memberships or liking and subscribing. And please consider looking at my other channels if you can and give them a chance. All right, so we covered DOA's declaration of war with Streets LA, but these things change fast, so maybe he's unannounced that war declaration. But as far as I know, he and Streets at the moment have a major issue over Lara, Aaron Smith Levin, and a host of other issues. And at least with Streets, and let me give the short story for people just coming in. Streets has been our, I guess, professional activist, and he has done some real activism. I don't want to deny that, but it's kind of a shady character with a huge drug past. So that's his story. And at least you can kind of understand why there would be friction because Streets LA has a big channel. He has several big channels. So numerically, he has way more subscribers than Scott. So you can understand why there might be tension in terms of where's the money going and things like that, popularity and influence. But then DOA also wanted to have issues with several other people, which was very curious because it seemed like I thought he was allies with these people, but apparently he is not. And who are we talking about? Well, it's Crazyloveislove. That was one person, but he also went after Henry, who was another protester. So who are these people? Well, I'm going to have to catch up with Henry because I don't know if he responded. I do know that Crazyloveislove responded. I'm going to call her CL for this video. So Crazyloveislove put out something pretty immediately to clarify, well, what's happening? I understand, well, what's the big issue? And as far as I know, publicly, the origin was Crazyloveislove put out this controversial post on her channel, and a lot of people assumed she was secretly attacking DOA. And as far as I know, she said, no, 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 I'm not talking about DOA. It's a whole other thing. This is being misread and intentionally being misread. But in his video, DOA was fairly straightforward that he did feel that the post was aimed at him. And he felt that behind the scenes, CL was pressuring and trying to control various people, including Lara, who was his girlfriend, DOA's girlfriend, and he did not like that. And so Crazyloveislove to him, CL was being deceptive and manipulative, and he didn't like that. And he questioned the foundation that CL is trying to create and has, I think she's a senior officer, I guess the technical term. And CL answered some of these questions. So what did she say? Well, I guess the big issue with her and Lara is Lara was supposed to help the launch of the foundation, right? And for whatever reason, Lara could not make it. So at the last minute, she pulled out. That created just a host of issues for CL. She wasn't angry, but she was like, okay, fine. She had to pick up the slack, basically. And so she felt a little disappointed. Also, her own experience with the protest movement was much more narrow. She was aware of DOA and aware of Lara, but not Nora. So I guess for whatever reason, DOA suspects or thinks that somehow CL is working against Nora, and CL is like, didn't really know much about Nora. I concentrated mainly on the protesters, and Nora has made herself out into this big queen of the protesters, but she's only engaged with them seriously here and there. She has done a few things, like she's gone to LA a few times, but yeah, if you were concentrating mainly on the LA protesters and try to keep up with their streams, Nora would come up here and there, but yeah, she was not a major presence. Again, you could believe CL or not believe her, but that's her story. So DOA is asserting or suspecting that they should have been more helpful or been nicer to Lara. Again, I want to be very careful here because I've been getting a lot of accusations, as usual, that I'm the head of the OSA and I'm running all these OSA operations on all these people. And I'm like, no. But if you're going to make that accusation, please provide serious evidence that I am the head of OSA. So anyway, I can't just get on the phone with CL and say, well, is this true or not? I just don't have that kind of connection to these people. Because I know people go, why aren't you scanning the phone? Because we know you're running the OSA. But I'm not running the OSA. That's just not what is happening. But this is a kind of serious accusation, so maybe I'm getting something wrong. I think CL is alluding to that DOA and Lara were expecting that the CL Foundation would help them out, right? And CL had to alert them, I can't do that. I can't just turn the foundation into your personal piggy bank. Now, these are serious accusations, so maybe I misheard something, but it seemed clear that CL was, I guess, getting the impression that DOA and Lara expected special treatment, and she's like, I can't do that. That's not how a charity works. That's not how any real foundation works. So if they took that as a personal slight or an offense, what's well, I can't do that anyway. That's just not how a serious foundation works. But apparently that may be what DOA was getting suspicious over, like why they weren't being, quote, more friendly through their foundation. And it's like, because that's not what the foundation is for. It's not the DOA foundation. So I don't know. So I guess DOA just expected them to turn over the foundation to him and he'd be in control. And as far as the pressure being put on Laura, or Lara, by the way, whatever her name is. Anyway, CL is like, well, I can understand that interpretation. And if Lara felt pressure, so be it. But that was not the goal. The goal was like, there was just a lot of stuff happening. Again, trying to set up a foundation takes time and effort. And there we are. So if Lara felt her feelings were not being attended to, okay, she could perceive that, but the point was not to, quote, control and pressure her. And there we are. Now, DOA made a lot of accusations, so I can't go through all of them. And CL answered a few of the big questions, but not every single one of them. So that's the basic gist, that she just wanted to go live, answer these questions immediately. It's like saying there's no war or battle from her end. So DOA is either misperceiving things or they really do have a lot of tension and fights, but she doesn't care about that stuff. So there we are. I just have to say, it is very, very confusing because at least recently, for the last couple of weeks, it seemed that CL and DOA were basically on the same team because a major focus that CL was honing in on is, well, no nice way of putting it, the deception and very problematic fundraising of Nance Drew, who was a Chicago protester who raised a lot of money, allegedly, to go legally at war with the church, but then out of nowhere said, oh, I'm just going to take a plea bargain. So it seemed like the thousands and thousands of dollars raised to get a court case won against the church just disappeared, to saying, well, we're not really going to have a big court case. I'm just going to take a plea bargain. So CL and a lot of people got suspicious. They've been double checking a lot of Nance's story. And to put it mildly, it doesn't seem like he was telling the whole truth, to put it mildly. So that was the major focus. And DOA was supporting that, saying they want to know more about what Nance Drew is up to, where'd the money go, what's really happening with the court case, because it seems like Nance Drew's fairy tale isn't holding up on many different levels. So it seemed on that issue they were unified and united, and they were working together on that one. So now DOA is like reversing course, I guess. It's very curious. And what is the accusation really? I guess that CL as well as Henry are trying to pull some people out of the DOA sphere of influence, and they're trying to get them on their team. So Scott is asserting ownership, saying, no, these are my people. These are my channels. Cultology, Nora, Liz Ferris, Lara, they're mine. These are my women. No, you don't touch them. No. So it's a little hilarious that DOA is playing the feminist now, and he's like, I need to protect these women. What are you doing? Talking behind the scenes? That's not authorized. The Church of DOA has not authorized these communications. So he's getting hot and bothered that behind the scenes, Crazyloveislove is talking to women, and Henry is talking to women, and these women are possibly talking to them. Okay. But to be fair, I'm sure he's disturbed that men are talking to them too without authorization. So there we go. So they're having unauthorized exchanges, and DOA is getting hot and bothered. As you can see, I'm kind of skeptical what DOA is saying. However, again, we're just in a murky area. So presumably CL will probably give us a little bit more with screenshots, a little bit more with text messages, just to provide a little bit more confirmation, disconfirmation. At this point, it does seem like a lot of wild accusations. However, I want to be fair to Scott. So in the video, he said he's hoping these are not really bad actors and he just misunderstood things. So he's giving them a big leaf or olive branch that maybe he got it wrong. Maybe they're not really bad actors. Maybe they just messed up and they can make up their sins in the Church of DOA in the future. Maybe, but he's a little suspicious of them at the moment. I don't know. It just sounds all pretty silly and stupid to me. But CL did come out forward and very clearly said, no, no, no. There's no big thing. This is just a lot of nonsense, and that's her story. So there we go. So will this war continue? Will it stop? Will there be a truce? Don't know. These things move fast, but at this moment, apparently, DOA is expanding his war beyond streets to Henry and CL and a few other people, and that's where we stand.